We mentioned wide receiver. This surprised me when I found out. So since 2010, Browns have drafted one wide receiver in the first round, one in the second round, and a supplemental. Corey Coleman, Greg Little, Josh Gordon. Andrew Berry has drafted three in the third round. It's Schwartz, Bell, and Tillman. It's a passing league. That surprises me. I would think you got to take a couple of swings higher up. Am I missing something there?
I agree, and I think I would have been very interested to see what they would have done when they made the trade for Deshaun, what they would have done with the 13th pick that year. Now, there was a run on receivers early that I don't know if those guys would have fallen to them, but I'd have been curious to see what they would have done there, and that's sort of the cost you paid, right? When you decided to trade all those picks, if he becomes a franchise quarterback, you do it every single time. But there is a cost that comes with that. You don't get a chance at some of these high-caliber wide receivers in the first round. It is a hole, though, in Andrew Berry's resume. And when you go back to when he was here with Sashi Brown, they really didn't do well drafting receivers. Yeah. Whether it was high or low, they just couldn't figure it out. And he hasn't been able to figure it out here during his time as GM. And that's why you go and trade, again, that's why you use trade assets, right? I'm going to take the second-round pick. I don't know what's going to be there. I don't know what that guy's going to develop into, but I really like Elijah Moore, so I'm going to go get him. And I think that's how Andrew views it, is I'm going to use some of these day 2, day 3 picks. If I feel like there's a more sure thing that doesn't cost a ton of money, and I can give up a day 2 or 3 pick that I don't know what it's going to be, I'm going to go get the sure thing.
Would you would it surprise you if they make another trade? Because it seems like every year there's a couple of, it was Moore, it was Cooper, Zadarius Smith was a trade.
Yeah, and I think they're going to. I absolutely think if they add a receiver, honestly, I almost feel like maybe it would be in a trade. And part of that is you're trading for a guy who's already under contract. That's big, so you're not bidding, dealing with a guy that you're bidding up to $20 or $25 million. The thing about Elijah Moore, he was on his rookie deal, so there was value there, and I think that's something that Andrew's going to look for. So, look, they could sign a Gabe Davis, they could sign one of these guys, but it would not shock me if the league year starts and the big acquisition we're talking about is, they traded, again, like they did for Amari Cooper, they traded for a receiver.